What's up guys, my name's Tom and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, where we are jumping into episode 3 of our Asturian Ascension. What? Is that right? Is that what we call the series? I think that's what we call the series. Asturian Ascension. I keep mixing up between Ascendance, Ascension, whatever. It doesn't help now that we've got the Abyssinian adventure as well. Last time out, we had finished making a claim on Navarra, and as you can see here, we are continuing by making a claim on the county of Apuscowa. And if you've joined me to see me butcher more, I was going to say Hispanic, more Iberian names, you've come to the right place, and if you want me to stop enunciating words properly, or formulating sentences apparently, then you've also come to the right place. So we're just going to immediately get underway here. Press play. In terms of issues, we've got low control in 3 counties. It's not great. It makes them... Actually, they're not unhappy. What does it do? It reduces levies and taxes. So it's certainly not great. But in sense of happiness, they're actually fine. So you obviously want more control. I don't think there is any benefit to having less control. So that is something we want to fix, and we'll actually make sure that our marshal is currently doing that, which he is not. So we will immediately get him back into Valladolid to increase control. In terms of levies, we're still on 1800. Oh, and I've had a son, and we are not calling him Zaradu, because... it doesn't sound like Xanadu? Olivia Newton-John? Is that right? I think so, but we're not calling him that. We will find another good name. Osorio? Gomez? Gomez is fine. Bermudu? They clearly like their use. Sebastian. Sebastian's a good name, and I can pronounce it fine. The enemy of Rome. While studying the tactics of ancient generals, I was amazed to learn about the exploits of Hannibal Barca. God, I am actually... horrible. I know Hannibal as well. Hannibal Barca during the Second Punic War. Known as the enemy of Rome, Hannibal's crowning achievement was the Battle of Cannae, and I am probably butchering that, even though I am familiar with the battle, where his army of roughly 50,000 outmaneuvered and encircled the larger 86,000 strong Roman army. Surrounded and unable to retreat, only 3,000 Romans survived the massacre. Like Hannibal, I will annihilate my enemies. I gain aggressive attacker. What does it do? I don't know. Can I tell? No. Hannibal is a true master of Fabian tactics. Gives me extra supply. Or, he was a fool fighting his hopeless war. I mean, they did end up losing. And I should know, but I don't. But I believe they were just outside Rome, and for some reason, and we don't know why, they just did not attack Rome. But, even though I don't know what it does, aggressive attacker just sounds good. It's got a nice sword picture with the plus, and who cares about supply, right? So aggressive attacker, we will go. And now we can actually see what it does. Plus 25% fatal casualties for the enemies. That just is good all round. I think that is better than supply, so I'm glad. I can... Continuing to look at the issues, I have powerful vassals that want cancelled positions. We can't really do anything about that. I can declare wars, which we do want to do. Obviously, we're working towards becoming a paragon of virtue, which obviously we're not there yet. But that's the goal, so that we can finally take an entire kingdom from one of these people down here, one of the Islamic people. Obviously, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but since it costs piety, I'd rather be at the highest piety I can do it, and do it early, given that our guy is... Given that our guy is only 30 years old, he's definitely going to have the opportunity to do it, so I want to get there as quick as possible. Expand our influence. We can ask our head of faith for gold, but again, we're looking for piety, it's not going to happen. Election, because that's just our succession type, and I can inherit the county of Zamora. Really no issues. In terms of money, can we ask for another indulgence? No, not until 878, not until December of this year, so that's fine. We will just wait, even though buildings are certainly worthwhile. and I will get one eventually. We're first going to wait so that we can buy the indulgence immediately. I mean, yeah. Just so we can the party. Scheme at court. My spy master has come to me with brave news. While we do not know who... While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill my Archbishop Larkva. We must stop the villain behind it. Interesting. I do like how they've done schemes in this game. You can find a scheme without finding who's in it, and it will still make it harder for that person to continue scheming. But you obviously won't have an opinion penalty with them, because you don't know. You just know that someone is trying to kill them. Another thing I would like to bring up is I was discussing Holy Wars with my friends, and how you have to be a certain level to do a certain Holy War, and subsequently you have to pay piety. Now, I'm not sure about all of those things, but I do think that the idea of being a certain level of piety, certain level of piety, does make a lot of sense. Because, in reality, a Holy War is how you're motivating your soldiers and convincing the people, or the nobles of your court, that your war is just. And if you're not a very pious person, if you're, sinful, you're drunkard, you're gluttonous, and you say, oh, we're going on a war for the glory of God to reclaim land for the Christians, well, they're going to be like, no, you're not, mate. you don't live your life pious at all. So I do think that makes a lot of sense. The fact that it costs piety, I'm not too sure about. But I haven't seen anything besides Holy Wars that do cost piety, so I'm not sure. We're just going to continue down the gallantry. We're going to get this promising prospects, marriage acceptance for close family, extended family, and myself. It's not great, it's not bad. I mean, it just makes it easier for me to marry one of my sons who is 8 years old and pensive. Let's see if there is anyone interesting yet. We could go for a eugenics program, try to find someone that has a good trait. I think currently alliances are far more important purely because of who we're facing. We're quite isolated, and as long as we keep the Franks, who I keep calling the French. Ooh, Lotharingia appears to have been inherited by East Francia, except for this little exclave here. And we have got our claim. Now the question is, do I want Tudela as well? I kind of do. The other question is, do I have to be bordering? I do. So I have to be bordering to fabricate a claim, which is fair enough. Alright, so we're going to fabricate Tudela. So as long as we're friends with the West Franks, who I have been calling France because it's just easy. They're blue, they become France, they've got the flag of France. It's just, they're Frankia right now. As long as we're friends with them, we should be all good. There's no one here really powerful enough. And I mean, we are powerful in our own right, but these guys have about equal numbers with us. So if they allied all together, then we would be in some issue. Oh, I have gained piety because my spouse is a patron of theologians. So essentially she pays theologians to continue doing their job. 28. What is she? The daughter of the king of France? Yep, there we go again. Of France. Yep, she is. That's nice. That's exactly what I need. We're very close to being a devoted servant, and then afterwards is a paragon of virtue, and that is where we will be able to declare a war for a kingdom title. And I believe the kingdom title I'm going to go for is the Sultanate of Andalusia. That is the only title he has. So, even though the de jure title is not that big... Actually, wait, was I crazy? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, so the de jure title's decent. And that's another reason why Galicia would be potentially good, is it'd give us de jure claims on this. And it might be something I decide to do once we get this second title. But, yeah. If we can get this entire kingdom, then that would be nice. The others, obviously, Valencia, Badajoz, Galicia, have not been formed. And there we go. I have upgraded, so I am now on my way to becoming a paragon of virtue. And I have just noticed that we ticked over, actually a while ago, I want to go to realm mode. Yeah. The papacy is massive. We will seek indulgences. Thank you, Nicholas. So the interesting thing about the papacy, especially in this time, is they were wavering a piece of paper that they called the Donation of Constantine. And essentially it was a piece of paper. Do we care if he's fickle? We definitely don't want him to be trusting. I feel like fickle is not a bad trait. I don't think we mind. Given content's not good, trusting is not great. So I think fickle. If we actually look at it, fickle is +1 diplomacy, -2% stewardship, but, hostile scheme reduction. So it's fine. Yeah, so they were waving around a piece of paper called the Donation of Constantine. And essentially it was a piece of paper that said supposedly from the Emperor Constantine, the one who formed or founded Constantinople, that this land belongs to the Bishop of Rome, and, no one has a right to take it off him. And they waved this around for a long time, up until the Renaissance, in which they worked out that it was a forgery, essentially because they were looking back at Latin and found that the Donation of Constantine that they were waving around couldn't have been written because it was using words that they just simply didn't use at the time. So it's quite interesting. So it was forgery, but they used it to justify their rule of those territories in Italy. Under siege. The true enemy of every soldier is complacency. My Chancellor, Duke Wimarano, says and shrugs. We're standing side by side, up on the castle walls, looking down on the soldiers connecting drills below us. We could exchange the castle's gates for planks of wood, and dull the arrows in the troops' quivers, he continues. Lead the soldiers in a mock charge against the castle and see how well they do in action. I can either... Our time is better spent improving defences, which gives us improved defences, although I do not think that that's going to be an issue in the near future, or I can potentially gain a martial lifestyle perk. Now, this sounds dangerous, The main killing factor in arrow is not the head as such, it's the blunt force trauma. So once it hits you, the shockwave, essentially, is what does most of the damage, messing up your organs and cracking bones and stuff. So, even blunt arrows, I imagine, would still do significant damage fired from warbows. But either way, we'll do this. Hopefully we get a martial perk. A tightly shut gate and walls that loom high into the sky. Archers can be seen as shadows moving behind the battlements, and a feeling of genuine excitement permeates the air. In the lull before battle, I turn and address the soldiers. My order rings out loud and clear across the field. Go through the sewers. The attack progresses very well. Charge the main gate, which you gain 50 martial lifestyle experience. 70% chance we walk in practically unopposed. The attack progresses very well. Or bring out the ladders. Do we want to risk it? No, I think we just want to go through the sewers. I'm a flexible leader, so let's do it. The stairwell echoes as another dulled weapon bounces off the middle pillar. For the second time in a matter of minutes, I curse the tight spiral that blocks us from swinging our weapons at the defenders. And this is actually very historically accurate, although I'm not sure it's period accurate, not for 880. But they did build castles, particularly so that right-handed people, attackers, would find it more difficult, while defenders would find it easier, just by the way they built narrow corridor. And essentially, this is also because people who were left-handed were frowned upon and often made to look like they were right-handed anyway. And that's where we get the word sinister, which essentially just means left-handed, but obviously now has the connotations of evil or bad. But yeah, so they did actually make it harder for swinging their weapons. Anyway, the heaving... Yep, the heaving breath of the soldiers around me is deafening, and with every repelled attack they grow more resigned and frustrated. I have to take charge of the situation. Don't let up, we will overwhelm them. Now that doesn't sound like a great tactic tactical decision, but either way. One at a time, stay alert. Or behind me, I'll protect you. Wait. You only gain 25 stress because you were brave. So either I can risk... Well, I think 20% chance of wounded or a 15% chance of it going badly. I think we'll overwhelm them. Yep, and the attack progressed very well. Taking the final step up onto the walls surrounding the castle, I survey the scene. Many soldiers may have been lost to the archers on the walls, but we will not be deterred. One after another, we overwhelm the defenders and stand victorious over the fallen. I take a deep breath, and then it is time to press on again. We are winning, but there is no room for mistakes. Hit them hard, they are not your friends today. Everyone with me? Or archers take up your position? I think we'll just hit them hard. We're aggressive attacker because of Hannibal Backer. Oh, my pronunciation. I just don't. I read these names and never hear them. Anyway, let's do it. And my brother wants me to go to a feast. Might as well, even though we're in the middle of a fake battle that's been going on for a numerous amount of days. Under siege, to storm a castle. The castle is ours. Among the celebrating soldiers, I find Duke Wimarano, who congratulates me on a charge well led. Look at them, my lord. The change of pace did them good. Even you seem reinvigorated, even though your castle was just lost to attackers. Our enemies will never stand a chance. I gain a martial lifestyle perk, and I gain improved defenses, which I believe will just be what we saw before, which is gain 4 level, etc. How good. So we'll go loyalty and respect, gives my spouse higher opinion, and skills from spouse cancel. Wow, that is actually very nice. In terms of issues, I should grant title, but that's not going to happen. I can designate a guardian for my other son. Well, it must be me. There's no other way. Feast. As one plate of food is replaced by the next, my mother, Monia, goes on and on about sword practice. And that was how we salvaged that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, my lord? No, please do go on. Had an interesting conversation. Gives me +1 diplomacy and +1 learning. That's not bad. Why don't we talk more about you instead? I can form a friendship. I mean, she's my mother, 48, but she already likes me, so I don't really care. You're making a fool of yourself. You making a fool of yourself could never bore me. It lowers my stress. I lose opinion of her, which is not ideal. But I get... I might form a rivalry. I gain 75 prestige and I lose stress because I'm callous. Do I even have any stress? How do I look at this? Is there a stress level? There must be. There's got to be a way to see this. That's dread. Gold, prestige, piety. Where is it? Lifestyle. There's got to be a way to see stress. Am I retarded? I just cannot see it. Because if I have stress, then I'm going to take it. But if I don't, I'll just take the diplomacy and learning. You know, that's going to be good. I can't see if I have stress, so I'm just going to take the diplomacy and learning. Almost done with our... Oh. Okay. Monia, my mother has decided that my ideas of warfare are misguided. I'm sorry, but I have 22 martial. What do you have? 15. Alright, you have better say than most people, but you're a lowborn. Shut up, even if you are my mother. Claiming that my ideas would break down the moment combat is met. What does she really know? I'd love the chance to settle this on the battlefield. So again, discussions and strategy, I imagine that'll add martial, and then there's just that third point, at least Monia showed you that you are able to defend your understanding of the martial lifestyle, and she doesn't like me for 10 years. Interesting. I don't know what that second point was there, but it doesn't really matter. The feast is dwindling down. I find myself deep in conversation with my spiteful vassal, Mayor Leo Vigildo. 36. Why is he spiteful? Look at it. Plus 24 opinion. Inquires about my opinion on court life as a subject he is deeply interested in himself. It's a subject that fascinates me as well. I can either form a rivalry with him or a friendship. I'd rather have a friendship. What a feast. I'll remember the days spent in Infante Fruela's halls for a long time to come. I won't. Now it's time to wash off the traces of merriment and wine, and once more resume my duties as a lord of the realm. Farewell, my brother. So I'll lose stress anyway. I think the decision to take the interesting conversation was the right one in the end. Now we'll just wait for Tudela in the Kingdom of Navarra. Hopefully we can usurp this very soon. Shetland. Shetland as in... It is. What are you doing down here? Tarragona. Interesting. What are you? Are you Norse? You are. Well, that's not allowed. We must crusade that man. That'll be easy. Or, if he's still there by the time that we, take the Kingdom of Navarra, then that will be an easy war just for the one county of Tarragona. Although I do believe it is part of the... Yeah, it is. It's part of Aquitaine, so it's not exactly necessary. So we might do it. Spouse Tourney Day. The sun is shining and peasants are milling about. The tourney, hosted by my wife. All my knights cheer as Queen Hildegard announces the tournament in their honour. For once I get to simply sit and watch. I'm not going to spend an entire tourney day stuck to a throne, however. I too cheer to my knights. Every knight gains 20 opinion of me, or this day is in our honour, my dear. I gain 150 prestige. Honestly, I think I might just take the prestige. But I do have a lot of knights. But I think I'll take the prestige. Prestige makes you more happy, right? And I've become more famous by that, so I think that's good. After my long tutelage of young Alarico, I was pleased to no end when he told me that he considers himself Asturianese. Thank God he's no longer Visigothic. That's what we want to see. And indeed he is. Good job, my son. Now when you take control, no one will be pissed off because you're following the wrong culture that was my culture, and then for some reason I changed and you didn't change, and I don't really understand how this has happened, but it has happened. And he is now my heir, which is good. And I can lawfully imprison this fornicator. I honestly don't care. You can do what you want. I should declare war. I just want the, I could. But that costs so much piety, even though he's vastly inferior. No, I will wait. I'm going to wait for this that is just about to be done, and then hopefully we can invade the Kingdom of Navarra easily. See it done. 93 gold. Let's go. Declare war. Wait, did it say he's my brother? Oh, he's my brother-in-law. Interesting. My claims. I have West Francia and Zamora. He has Aquitaine. Now, I said before that I had actually recorded episode 2 and 3 before, and I worked out that if I invite West Francia, then he cannot invite Aquitaine. So we are going to do that. We're going to declare war. Then we are going to quickly... Where is he? My ally. Call to war. And apparently we also have too few knights, so we are going to find a knight. No, we are not. We're going to invite knights. Let's get rid of this. Send a herald. Invite the knights. Alright, now hopefully France joins. We're also going to raise our armies, obviously. And we're going to begin our march into Navarra. Now, does he join? He does. This means that he cannot pull in Aquitaine because obviously Aquitaine's liege is fighting for me. So in the other playthrough, I didn't pause, and so Aquitaine joined and I couldn't invite. My brother and my friend just died. How? How did you die? Wait. How'd he die? He was slain in battle. Okay. Sure. Anyway, yeah, so I couldn't invite France or West Francia because of... And we are getting Peacemaker. That's good. Because, yeah, he invited Aquitaine, so it was slog, and I actually didn't see the outcome because I worked out that my audio was corrupted, and as such... Oh, and apparently this battle will be dire. So let's have a look at the terrain. How do I do such a thing? I'm not really sure. Terrain. So, here we have hills. Here we have forest. Here we have mountains. So ideally we want to be defending in the mountains, and if not mountains, hills. But we will just wait here for the French, hopefully. Oh, they're getting on boats. Now the question is the French army coming? And the answer is no, not really. Will they go straight for my capital? If so, should I go straight for their capital? Yes. We will race for the capitals. I'm also losing money, which is certainly not ideal, but we do have that improved defenses thing. So hopefully that makes it easy. France, can you come do something? Are you at war with someone else? You are, but also not really. And here we will just continue the siege. And they're battling people. Oh, I have a knight. Alright, so I can fix this. Ooh, I need 70 gold. 30 gold. But this guy is sick. 25 prowess. That's insane. I almost want to get him to teach my son. France. West Francia, you carried me in a war before. Now we must do it again. Wow, that is a quick siege compared to mine. Is he like a siege master or something? That could be not great. Oh, we won. And he's fighting my vassals, even though they are not really doing something. We could actually ransom a prisoner if we really need money. We don't at the moment, though. I was watching Alerico play with other children when Ordono tried to push him over. Alerico took it all in stride and sat down to talk to Ordono instead. Wow. He's forgiving. Or I can make him wrathful. I mean, forgiving is not a bad trait, but I can't say what it does. And I really want to. I'm very tempted, but I think wrathful is also a good trait. And I'm wrathful, am I not? No, I'm not. I'm a good man. Alright, you know what? He can be forgiving. What does that do? Increase diplomacy, lose intrigue, increase learning. That's bad. I mean, that's not bad. He's virtuous, so. Can you please come do something, France? Oh no. They might just siege it down, actually. Or they're gonna come. Or they might come. Yeah, we're running away from that. I really need money. Can you please come do something? Why are you standing up here? What is this? A ford between somewhere and somewhere. What are you doing? What are you doing? Please come and help me. You said you would come and help me. Please come do it. We are in dire straits. Let's be honest, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. And I've just seen the recording has just ticked over 30 minutes. So what that means is I'm going to leave you guys here, and we will resume this next time, where we will look for some way to win this war, because it is certainly not looking good right now. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. See ya.